Hey everyone, this is Dr. Lakeisha J. Cole of thefaithoutcome.com, and I am going to get right into my conversation. I want my video to be short but effective, and I have a few minutes, but I always say, and I try to overstate certain topics. Especially not knowing what people go through. We're living in a time, I'm painting my nails too today. We're living in a time where people are so free, to share their opinions, and we can't control each other. So you can't stop people from sharing their opinions. You can't stop people from having an opinion. You can't stop people from doing what they're doing. And what influences them to do what they do, to say what they say, to act how they act. And a lot of times, it's so easy now. We have the opportunity to share whatever we want, however we want, whether it's beneficial for people or not. We're just living in a time where it's so convenient for people to turn on their phones and share their opinions, share their thoughts, express themselves. And sometimes it's for the greater good. And then other times, it may be for people who want attention, who need that. Oh, what is this? No, that's ugly. I'm gonna have to. What is that? Come on. But everybody's different, and sometimes people they share things because they're trying to help people, and then other people share things because maybe they're trying to change their lives, and it may not be in the most positive way to you. But my point is that this is just what it is right now. We're living in these times. And I know for me, my channel, I make it my business to have content that I value as being something that can help somebody. So even if you are a part of my channel and you don't know me, you're meeting me through my channel, I'm just letting it be known that I put this content out because I really feel in my heart that it's helpful to somebody. People who I don't know, people who I may know that, I don't know what they're going through, just like nobody knows what I'm going through unless I share it. And it's really easy to judge people and situations and, look at things in a way that it may look one way, but it's really not like that. And sometimes people need help. You might look rich and financially you're struggling. Every day you wake up thinking, God, please let today be the day that my life changes, because it's really hard. It's really getting tough. Like right now, I'm waiting on my surgical date. I received my surgical date for my eye surgery, so I'll be doing that this month. I'm waiting for my other surgery date, and I'm telling you, like, this morning, I really was like, I was just I was like, I'm going to the emergency room. Forget the surgery date. I'm not waiting. I was really just in a lot of pain. And then I had a lot of stuff on my mind because school is, the quarter that we're in is coming to an end. And there's a lot of things that need to be covered. I've already had some unpredictable appointments that I didn't know I would have last month, and it tapped into my schedule, and I made some adjustments to my schedule because a lot of things, they weren't necessarily a wake-up call, but it was really more confirmation, because the private things that I have kept to myself about what I'm looking for in my life at this time, I'm looking at what's best for me, and I'm less concerned compared to my old days. I guess that's what I would say, compared to the old days when I cared so much about, people's feelings, and I didn't want things to be taken the wrong way, and, that really meant a lot to me. And a lot of times I felt like I was taken advantage of for being that way, or that people just, kind of almost thought that I could be run game on because I was trying to be considerably kind and nice and thoughtful about, just things, people in general, situations. And now, it's different. I have matured in areas where, at one point I didn't act like that. And now when situations change, I'm in a different age group now. Also, my life has changed. My sons are gone. They're overseas and working and, trying to get their lives going and figuring out what they need and want to do and with their lives as young adults. And, that changes a lot for you too. At one point, my children, they were small. They were babies. And when they were babies, my life was different than it is now. I made sacrifices so I could make sure that I was available, to them. And even then, things weren't understood then. But like I said, everybody has a different journey. And I feel like that's still something that I've always understood. Everyone has a different journey, and that journey is what people do their best to understand and make it through and base their decisions on. And, as you grow and you continue to live in this world, things change. You even change, and you discover new things about yourself. Why in the world is my nose running? Feels like it anyway. Let me get that tape. But you do your best to just try to get through what you can get through at the time. And one thing that I have always been big on, no matter what age, I just really, in my heart, I really feel like I really did always, care for people. Even when I was in my people-pleasing stage of life, like, I really feel like that was who I was, though. I wasn't doing anything that I didn't want to do. It made me happy to see other people happy and pleased and stuff like that. But then to find sometimes that people are, you talking about me? And I know that I'm being kind from the kindness of my heart, like stuff like that. I ain't never been good with that. I never liked that. And I would cut people off like in a heartbeat. I'd cut you off real quick, wouldn't think nothing about it. It wouldn't hurt my feelings at all, because I just felt like I felt like, for me, I know what space I've always come from. Like I always knew if I was really being authentic and genuine and, with my sincerity about stuff, and if people were kind of ugly or dramatic about it because they didn't really know where I was coming from in my heart, I didn't really want to be around dramatic stuff like that. And that's just really how I always kind of looked at things. Now, so much I've still, matured and evolved to a place where, like I said, I don't really like a lot of drama. I say that all the time on my channel. So if a person is new to my channel, like I'm not big on drama. I don't like drama. I don't like dramatic people. I don't like all that. You know what I'm saying? If I get that way, it's really like something is really urgent or important going on, and I'm really coming from a genuine place. But I don't like drama. So a lot of times I've always kind of still been able to be like a loner, but I just, I don't really like a lot of drama. I mean, I just don't. I don't really like sitting around judging people's situations and stuff, because I feel like, a lot of things for all of us, it looks a certain way sometimes. Like sometimes it might look like, you're not going through nothing. Or sometimes it might look like you're not doing the best for yourself. And people, they really are genuinely concerned, and maybe that's why they talk about it and stuff like that. And, maybe they do want to help you, and, they just look at it like, oh, well, we all look at things that we would do. Oh, my husband, he's here. I can't do my video anymore. Don't say nothing about it. I'm doing my video. Press that pause button for me right quick. Okay, but continuing on, I don't know what I was saying at this point, but just to finish up, really, it's just, I think that we all respectfully give our perspectives to other people's situations, and sometimes from a far seat we sit back and we look, and sometimes you do care about people, so you're looking at their situation, with compassion. You feel like you want to help, or you see something that maybe they're doing or going through that you done been through, and you want to, shed some light on it. Like, you might not tell them, but you might be discussing it with somebody else. I get it that's what a lot of people do. Sometimes it is heartfelt, and then other times it's not heartfelt. You just really trying to be rude. You look at things from the outside and you just weigh in without even considering that, it's really none of your business what you think about somebody else. And, now we live in a space where you can share those thoughts, in a video, or like I said, express yourself, and somebody else might record you expressing yourself, dealing with something that's not even related to you. So it's really like we're all in a space now where privacy is very limited sometimes with how you express yourself, what you're doing and what you think about something. You know, you don't know who's recording you, to be honest. And then what they're talking about, you know, just from their observations or things like that. But I just, you know, I always feel like it's an important topic to cover, you know, daily, because now, like I said, I continue to see my channel growing, and so there are new people every day that might, you know, see a video, and I really feel like it's a responsibility that I have now, not just, you know, if anybody just even takes the time to subscribe to my channel or anything, like, I really value it now that, okay, somebody's listening to me and watching me on purpose, and I want to have something that can make somebody feel good, or maybe somebody's having a day and, you know, they're not looking for one of my videos to laugh at or something like that. They might be looking for a word of encouragement or guidance for something that I've done that, you know, I'm discussing, or just, I don't know, you know, we all watch videos and different things for different reasons and different spaces in time, you know, but like I said, for my channel, I really do, I just try to have regular videos. I don't really, at this time in my channel, I don't really want nothing fancy, you know. I don't want to do a whole lot of stuff. I just want to be real. I want to be myself, and I want to offer content about things that I really feel in my heart that might help somebody. And, you know, when I'm feeling good and funny and silly, you know, I'll do something for that, and, you know, that's fine with me. But mostly, I'm really trying to just be myself and share things, you know, as I go along. Whatever's going on with me in my day, and or if I see something and hear something and I have a word of inspiration that might help someone, you know, because like I always say, it's helping me too. So I really, sometimes I find myself going back, looking at the content and being really inspired, and that makes me continue putting out videos, because it's like, okay, you know, somebody's getting something somewhere, because people are not just subscribing and giving their time to even view your videos. Like, it's something that people are looking for, or it's something that they have. So I really appreciate that, and I just want to really make it worth my time and energy and somebody else's time and energy. So right now I'm just chilling with my husband. I think we're about to go to Walmart, because you always got to go to Walmart and get a few items. And yeah, so, you know, this is the part of my day where I feel a lot better than I felt this morning, because it was really rough this morning. I'm just really I'm counting down the days. And one thing about people, like I said, you know, I do feel like certain things are important for me to keep private, and I do that. But I also realize that, you know, just like me, one day somebody else might be experiencing this same thing that I'm going through right now, and have no clue, like, how they might feel emotionally, physically. And I just feel like as private as I am, something in me just felt that, I wanted to share parts of my experience, because it's so much information out there, and you can go anywhere to get information. So sometimes just seeing somebody who you feel like, well, this person, really been inspiring to me lately, and you tend to, you can get something from somebody who you feel like has been inspiring in some kind of way. And I just know that, like I said, as being in the health field and things like that, I don't know, sometimes I really did, I just felt like studying health and seeing health and disease affect people, and then to have my own experiences at this age and stage in my life, and it's like, just little things, little bitty things back to back, and I always say it, really, that sometimes it made me feel like I didn't want to do it, because I'm such a sponge, and I feel like, I'm always talking about manifestation, and so I felt like, I keep teaching about all these diseases and things like that, one day something might be done affected me, because it's like just talking about it every day or seeing it every day in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And now that I'm experiencing some things, it's like I really do, it might just be one or two people, but it's might be somebody who feels like, just like how I felt. Sometimes you just think you can handle, you can take care of it. I can handle it. I know what to do. And maybe you do, but your journey where you are may be taking a turn for a different reason. And I'm telling you, I'm going to keep on saying it. A lot of times in my life, when I look back, things that were hard for me, like really difficult and hard, and like made me feel some kind of way, sadness, depression, or just a new stage, it's like, I'm telling you, around the corner, it was always something great that ended up happening later on. Come on, babe. Something great just ended up being around the corner. And I'm telling you, I've been feeling this for like, now I know, several months. And the last thing that happened to me when I was having a difficult time was like a miracle. And now I'm experiencing something new, and it's like I've been praying for something specific, and I just feel like, I'm getting through all this stuff now so that I'll be able to really enjoy the new miracle, the next thing that God has for me. Like, I'll have all this behind me. I won't have to worry about dealing with it. It'll be a testimony. It'll be something that I can share and go through. So, it's gonna be a challenging month, and it's already been a challenging 2 months. But it's just something that I have to get through, and I'm gonna get through it. But I just expect that my next month is going to be great. This one is still a part of the challenge, but it's gonna turn around. I'm in the process now of getting through, and that's what it is. I'm making my way through the challenging times, because of course I don't want to be in the hospital or I don't want to have no procedures. I don't. But you know what? Right. I just want to be well. And that's what I care about. Being well, feeling good. I'm used to feeling my best. And, you know, this is just a time in my life where things are going on. But just know that, you know, you might go through something in your lifetime, you know, that might be different from where you are right now. Like, you might be in a great space right now. I haven't always experienced what I'm going through right now. You know, I'm used to being healthy and strong and tip top. There they go. You know, now I'm going through the process of getting through. And, you know, I'm still making it, you know, and I feel like I'm still a lot stronger. Like, when I saw that stuff, like, for real, singing it, like, this is what I've been going through, and I've been just doing stuff, like, really still doing a lot of stuff. That's why I really do feel kind of inspired and motivated about me. Like, I don't get too wrapped up in things that can kind of hold me back. But at the same time, it's like I felt like, wow, you know, I really been making it through a lot of things that were really tough. And I've been getting through. And now I'm just, you know, getting everything together. Getting everything taken care of. And just trying to use my experience to inspire somebody else. But I know what? A lot of my life is changing. Like, this experience showed me a lot of things that I don't want to do. And I'm not going to do. No more. I'm going to, like, live better still, because it just, when things change in your life, it does wake you up to see, okay, you know, maybe I can cut this part of my life out. You know, am I doing that for me, or am I doing it for some other reason that's important, but I don't need to do it anymore? So I'm making a lot of changes. And it's also building my strength about not really caring about, like, even more what people think. Like, folks don't know what you're going through. Don't worry about that. Worry about you. Let them talk and think what they want, and so what? You know, just do you and find what works for you, and what's helping you, what's good for you. And live well, you know, because one day it'll all be over. So you gotta do what you can do. All right, I think that's enough for now. Bye. Go to thefaithoutcome.com. Okay, so let me tell you how good and amazing God is. Now, this is a short part of my day, and I was just doing a video about how challenging this month is going to be, but I know, you know, something great is right around the corner. And I was just walking out of the house. You see, I'm in my car now. I done switched from being with my husband, and I was just singing this little tune, miracles and blessings, miracles and blessings, miracles and blessings. And then I was just like, just playing around with myself, saying, what did I say? Coming to me, or something I said. Miracles and blessings coming my way. That's what I said. And I'm just playing, right? And when I got in the car, I got some good news. Like the split second that I got in the car, and it is definitely something I consider a miracle. Now, I know that you're probably saying, well, what is it? What is it? That's not fair. I hate when people do that. I'm going to share it, okay? But it is a one small piece of the puzzle to something else. So in order for me to really, like, I have to do the full testimony. So doing the full testimony, I'm gonna have to wait. But it is just, it's fantastic. And like I said, I'm telling you, I'm an energy person. I'm more in tune with energy and positivity, and I'm really more in tune with even just understanding the spiritual aspect of me living in this earth and flowing with life. And it is just amazing, like, how things happen. You know, 1 second you're here, you're dealing with this is what's going on, and then the next minute you can't even predict that, wow, this just happened. You know what I'm saying? But you might have been on the floor crying a split second ago or something like that. Like, this is why I continue to say, you must have faith. You must believe, and you can't look at your surroundings when things are going badly, you know, or when they're hard or challenging or difficult or whatever words you use, to discourage you to the point that you stop believing. Because so much, can change, and it will change. Remember, this is a journey. This is a journey that we are on. And every day is going to be different. And there are moments that are going to be so hurtful, really hurtful, painful. You don't know why you're going through these things. You don't want to go through them. If it was up to you, you just wouldn't put yourself through this stuff. That's why it is a journey, because if it were up to us, we wouldn't put hard, challenging things in our lives. Think about it. Why would we do things that would make us cry or make us feel hurt inside or make us ruin ourselves, our reputation or something, because we were having a bad moment or we were in a miserable space and time in our lives and we just wasn't thinking, just being stupid and careless, and then to just go back and see the beautiful parts, like the beautiful parts that were just totally unexpected. You know, to say things. And for me, it's so special because I speak so much stuff. I intentionally speak positive. Like, I intentionally, this is what I'm thinking it, and things come randomly across my path, and it may be like some kind of instruction or some kind of exercise to do, and I do it in that moment, and then I turn around. It's like, I always say, watch what happens, and I do. I look for it, I speak it, and like I said, it is in the middle of sometimes the roller coaster of life. It may be while I'm spiraling downhill, holding my breath and just cringing with, something that's going on. And then, oh my God, now it's hard. It is like a roller coaster. Now it's hard. You clunk, 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 clunk. Just, now you just struggling, trying to come up, and then it's over. It's over, and you're done with it. If you didn't like it, you'll never have to do it again. Like, it's that type of thing that sometimes we do in life, and that's how I feel about, like, mistakes and errors and difficult times and challenging moments, when it feels like you just spiraling out of control. You feel sick on your stomach. You know, it like a roller coaster. It has its moments of excitement, but then there are other moments that are just not really comfortable. And you decide, okay, I made it through that. I won't begin on that ride again. And you never do it again. But God, I just have to tell you, God is so good to me. Like, God is so good to me, and I can really see the love. I can see the love that God has for me, even in this difficult time. I can see it. God loves me. God cares about me. God has my back. And I see it. I feel it. And man, God is so good. God is so good. Never, ever, I say this all the time. It's in multiple videos, multiple books. Never, ever, ever give up on yourself. Never give up on the plan and purpose for your life, no matter what you're going through, because challenging things will make you feel like, gosh, but right around the corner, you just have to keep holding on. You have to keep speaking. And I'm telling you, I've been there where it feels like I'm speaking, I'm having a day, I don't feel like speaking, but just keep doing it anyway. Do it anyway. Do it while people talking about you. Do it while people laughing at you. Do it while you feel like you don't know what you're doing yourself. Like, God, what am I doing? Just keep speaking life into your life. Even if, like I always tell people, what in the world? If you don't know your next moment, think about how you can easily be influenced. Maybe you're upset about something and you're in your feelings and emotions, and just like anybody, you just run off at the mouth and you start speaking things, and you don't realize that you're speaking them because you're just in the moment and you feel like, I'm just cutting up. But then when you look back and you're having a good moment and you're positively speaking life into yourself, and it's like, look at those two situations. Look at those two moments. You are upset and you're speaking out of your emotion. Then you're happy and you're speaking things out of your emotion. Things that you want to see or things that you believe to be are going to happen. So you really have to catch yourself when you're... My husband's here. I'll do this part later. But you just got to catch yourself when you saying negative things and stop it, because God is a miracle worker. And I'm here to tell you, God is a miracle worker. Miracles are working for Lakeisha Cole, and wonderful. I'm just so, oh my gosh, I'm just grateful. And I have to share this. Like, every time these moments happen, I have to share them, because some parts of my life I am living it where people can see, oh my gosh, you know, she's really going through, or she had this and that, and then next thing, that's great. But yeah. Now I'm recording this moment of my life because I have got to document this. If I didn't document this stuff, it would be hard to believe. I just said earlier today, roller coaster, you know, and I'm still keeping it positive. I received some more news today, and it's not the best news, but I was just telling my husband, like, you can't make this up, what's happening to me right now. And honestly, I am feeling like I need to, you know, just stay as positive and calm as I can, because it's a lot. Like, it's a lot. It would be a lot on anybody. But I'm grateful. because the quarter for school is coming to an end, and we're all going into the holiday season and preparing for the new year. So I'll have a chance to deal better with things. But yeah, my husband, like he said, I just have this calming effect on me now, because it's almost like when you turn around and you're keeping it positive, and it's like one thing after another, and you can tell that it's news and things that's just trying to pull you down. Like it's trying to drain you, because okay, I just got this news, and then I got that news, and I'm still trying to put that energy out there that is keeping me looking forward to something good, because it's just, everybody, just like I said, everybody has their season. We all have things that, we can't always expect, that will happen, that don't make you feel your best, and you still have, things that you have to do. Just like me, I'm closing out the quarter. I have work I have to do, got my computer out, and I'm really just planning on just being up all night. Trying to go ahead and get everything done, so that when I need to take time and do this and help with that or do that, I'll be able to. Because right now, like, that's how I'm feeling. Like I said, I have to prepare myself already. Hopefully, honestly, it'll be, really, I need to go ahead and have my stuff going on, like, immediately, as soon as possible. But I'm just keeping it positive, like, because I was telling my husband, if I don't laugh and smile about something, I would just be screaming right now, because it's so much coming at me, and I'm just really just, I'm taking it. I'm handling it the best way I know how. I'm very cool and calm, and, smiling and doing my best for most part. And then, I had those little small moments where it's like, okay, I'm allowing myself to just release it all. But yeah, so it is 9:44 p.m. Monday. And I'm gonna grade these papers and go ahead and knock out as much as I can. And I'm gonna put some Hallmark movies on. I have my candles burning. My husband, he has my meditation music going on, because he just bought a new guitar. And he's been, learning how to play. So it's really a lot of soothing sounds. And I'm just going to keep my mind as positive as I can. I might write myself some little positive notes just to, help out. But like, this is a part of my life I'm going to look back on. And I'm going to be very grateful that I made it through and that I continued to be positive and be upbeat no matter what has continued to happen, because this is definitely going to turn around into something great and mega good for me. And that's just how I'm going to look at it. I'm creating the narrative that I want, and I'm not going to let this stuff get me down. You know, it's raining outside right now, so that's soothing when you're in the house with candles and good things, sounds in your ears. But, you know, this is definitely going to help somebody, because I'm already seeing myself on the other side. And it looks so much brighter and better. I am strong. I am encouraged. And I have a miracle waiting for me. You know. And I will definitely be smiling and laughing and enjoying myself. Yeah. Okay, so now I am still up. It is now late. Early in the morning, late. And I am just trying to get, I know, but I'm trying to get some things done, because that'll give me more time tomorrow. I got a lot done already. Tonight, well, last night and this morning, it's still raining. And I am just trying to let me just bring it all together. And I know, I see this. I see me working, and I know what it looks like on camera. But I do know that my mornings are the most tough right now for me. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get everything done so that I can have more time to rest in the morning and more time to feel just up to everything that I have to do. It's so funny because I was watching kinda a little bit Hallmark while I was doing some work, and I remember it's like a lot of the movies that I watch, they have like business professional women that remind me of me. And it's like the movie I'm watching now, the lady, she is like this top, big executive, and it just came on. It hadn't been on like 2 minutes, and already, like, she looked like, I looked like her, she looked like me, as far as like how she carries herself and how she just, is doing all this stuff. But I did forget that peppermint tea makes me feel so much better. So I decided to get some, and I'm gonna put a menthol drop in there too, just because the weather's changing, it's raining, and that with the peppermint really just, to me, makes it so nice. So nice. But I am definitely going to, I just love the smell of it. Just makes me feel better instantly, no matter what I'm experiencing. And I love that so much. Love that smell. But I'll just let that it's really just the smell for me. It just, and then when the heat blows on my face, when I get ready to take a sip, I love that. And then I get my little candy cane cup, and I feel better already. I got a lot going on here though. But Keisha. And I was also watching, yesterday we saw a movie, Cruella, and the Baroness, her style is like my alter ego. Really. Like, my husband, he just laughed. And he's like, people don't really know this. Like, that is really my wife. Not her attitude and, her, no, but like her style and just the sophistication part. Not the, she was a mess. But, it's just certain things. Like, take away, give her a nice spirit, and then everything else that's me. But it's been an interesting day, and it has been for a while now. But like I said, on a good note, positive note, I always know how to find a way to keep it positive. For me, I've learned how to do that. And the way I do it most is I just find ways not to overwhelm myself. Like, when I feel overwhelmingness coming on, and something about me, I know how to gather myself and put a stop to that quick. And like I said, I know how to say no, and I know how to just like really do, I know what I can't handle. I'll put it that way. I've learned myself. I know what I can't handle. I know what, I need to move to the side, take away, go back to that later on. Like, I've really become really good at that, and still get done things I need to get done that I view as a priority. And look at my hair. Come on. That's priority. So, like I said, gonna just sit here and just be here, you know. That just, I mean, instantly for me, like, it makes me feel so much better immediately. Like, peppermint tea, it really does. It has an energetic effect on me. But it's been a long day, and it's been a lot, you know, of good ups, downs, different things. And but like I said, you know, I still just know how to keep it positive, and I refuse to just allow things, you know, anything to make me feel burdened. Like, you know, I'm a kind of person, I know how to shed a tear, take a moment to, you know, be in my emotions, and then just move on from it. And usually, like, if people have seen me and they say, oh, well, you know, I've seen her emotional and it just seemed like she was, no, that doesn't happen often. So when you see it, if you see it, it doesn't happen often. Something is really going on, and I have learned, for me, that it's very good to express. You need to, you know, feel free to let your emotions take place, because they are real. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to do, because if you don't recognize that kind of stuff, you can't do anything about it. And so if you're sad or if you're overwhelmed, and once you get that out, like once you get through that moment, then you know how to deal with it. You know how to say, okay, I'm feeling this way. What in my life needs to change to help this improve, to make it better, you know, to be able to deal with it, handle it more. Like, what do, you know, I don't believe in overwhelming myself. And reason being is because, just like what I'm experiencing now, it's a lot. And the less you're able to really look at yourself, observe yourself, medically and psychologically, mentally, you physically, you can't get anything done. And like I said, a lot of people unknowingly are walking around really, you know, having physical ailments and things, and the only reason that they think they're okay is because they don't get examined. So when you don't get examined, then you don't really know. And I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking about other people. But, you know, I'm grateful that I, you know, do get examined. And I handle it the way that I believe I need to handle it. But I do get examined. And being examined allows you to know what's going on with you physically. And a lot of people can go years and decades without, you know, getting checkups and exams. And, you know, like when you're tired, you don't sleep. When you're overwhelmed, you just ignore it. Oh, I have things to do. I have to do this, that. That, over time, mixed with family history, mixed with just emotional things that have really had an effect on you physically that you may not be aware of. All of that stuff mixed together, it can lead to a poor health outcome. And especially if you don't get examined to know that, okay, you know, I've got this going on. Even if you choose to handle it in a way that ignores it for a while and whatever, you know. So I'm really doing better about checking up after myself. And like I said, you know, people, they don't know what you're going through. They just always looking for an answer for something. You know, if you miss a beat or if you're doing this, you know, and it's like I said, you may even be getting a treatment. You know, it's just people just always think that they know exactly what's going on with folks. And if you're not there, you know, for every little thing, nobody just assumes, you know, maybe something is going on. Maybe she's taking care of something or this and that. And like I said, I just have to keep explaining that for the rest of my life. But I always have a valid excuse, a valid reason for anything. And like I said, it just too much, you know, sharing, it just to make things worse. I mean, I know what I got going on in my life, and I know what'll be too much. I do. And I'm not even adding that extra stress, I mean, to my life. No. So, I do what I can and what I can't or don't need to or don't want to, because I need to do whatever, you know, especially rest. Like, rest is so important, and a lot of people don't even realize what it does for the body, like, and what it does to the body when you keep ignoring that. Oh, you need to get sleep, you need to get a certain amount of hours, you need to, like, oh, you keep putting it off, and oh, I've got to do this, I got to do that. Well, don't we all? But you get your rest however you got to get it, whatever you got to change, whatever you have to do. Like, you have to cut some things off to get your rest, and don't feel guilty about it, because your physical body needs and requires rest. Whatever you're not doing, you can get to it. It's a difference between being lazy and getting rest. They're totally different. You know, you may have been going for hours upon hours all day. You hadn't taken a nap at all. You didn't eat. It's stuff like that. People don't realize that they're living like that. Like, you didn't went all day. You hadn't even eaten. You haven't taken a nap. You haven't done anything, and it's like, what you really think you gonna get done being like that? Nothing. I mean, I know what that is. And that's why I alter. I mean, regardless how it looks, I alter, because I just believe in my heart that that's important. And, you know, sure, every now and then we all have things to do, and it gets really busy, and we have to do this and do that. And, but still, you just, like, I mean, when I do not like to be mentally overwhelmed, and when I need to take a minute for Lakeisha, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I know the reason why. So regardless what other people think or what they do or feel about it, I've learned I can't worry about that. Like, I know that I've gone all day, and I need a nap, or I need to, you know, do this or do that, or right now I'm waiting on my procedure, and if I need to lay down right now in my life because I'm feeling some kind of way, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And you know, it's so many contributing factors that has me here right now. So that's even showing me more. Like, I'm sorry. I really don't care how things look. I know what I'm doing, and I know that other people know what they're doing. So you know when you're not getting rest. You know when you're working too much. You know when you need to put some things down. You know when you need to have a reflection moment with yourself. And, you know, sure, some things take a back seat. Oh, well, I had to cut a couple $1,000s a month from my, oh well, I mean, that's just what it is. Something else will work out. And that's just really where I'm at right now. I just believe that, when you start going through things yourself and see yourself like you see for me, like you all know, I had the MRI done and everything. Like when you look at that for yourself, like you look at your results yourself. So many factors contributed to me being there. I know that more than anything. What they are exactly, I don't know. But I do know that so many different things have contributed to me being like that. See, like I tell my husband, other than my husband, nobody sees me in the morning. No one sees me in the morning. No one has seen my MRI except for the professionals, the health professionals who help me. So, like, other than them, I don't feel like I owe anybody an explanation. I see it. They see it. We all know what it is. And when I need to take a minute for me, that's just what I'm going to do. And I know why I'm going to do it. And, and then I have to do that around all the things that I have to do. So I just want other people to see that too. Like, it's okay to not try to be Superwoman and Superman and you trying to do all this and, all of that. I do so much in a day and I'm amazed what I can get done. I'm amazed at what Lakeisha can do too. But at the end of the day, I still feel that some stuff you feel like you're doing a whole lot and that's attractive and it looks good and business wise sometimes it makes you feel good. Money in the bank sometimes makes you feel good, but like it's not about a lot of times caring for yourself is slowing down, reprioritizing and rearranging your schedule sometime and learning to say no for certain things. No, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. Not glorifying yourself for how much you can get done in 24 hours. And, every time you got to open it on the books, you putting something there. For every, the calendar just looks like a colorful brick house. It's just red, blue, orange, yellow. You got all this stuff filled in and you don't have no time for nothing. And then you wonder later, I'm talking about me, for other people too, to look at themselves. I don't want people to go through life and not look at themselves like, I don't know. People see things differently. And some people just feel like, they look at themselves like, I do so much and I get so much done and it makes me feel good and I'm so glad. Yeah, but now that I'm 46, for every person who's watching this video who's not 46 yet, for every person who's older than 46 who's looking at this video, you may be able to relate and say, now you're able to see some things in your life that you didn't see 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And then when little things start happening in your health, you look back and it's like, okay, let me look at the last 20 years. All this stuff that made me cry and feel like I was saddened and just, that part of my life, I know it contributed to what I'm facing now. I just know. And I can't see. Is now people just, may not even understand why this is why I'm taking a break from things, and this is what I'm not gonna do. And my family members and friends and people, they can tell you, like, I know how to shut my phone off, when I'm working and I have deadlines that I have to meet and I have to get things done and I have to concentrate and focus to get them done. My phone is off, and then when I get done, it's back on and I'll check things. But like all of that, every time you look around, you got your phone in your hand, you're looking at your emails, you're looking at, you're taking calls, you're not present with the people in front of you. Like all of that, I'm telling you, in a big scheme of things, it carries some weight and it causes a lot of problems. No matter who you are, no matter what your role in life, like some of that stuff catches up with you, and you have to take care of yourself. You must take care of yourself, period. And when you learn how to do that, that means a lot of things that you found yourself doing and you're not going to do. And then people are not going to understand. And then you have to find a way to be able to handle that. Like, can you handle people being upset with you because, oh, you're not going to do this and that? Or, oh, you didn't answer your phone, or you didn't answer our email, or you didn't do this, or you didn't do that. Do you know how to handle that? Have you learned how to deal with that? What are your feelings about that for yourself? Or maybe you feel good about it. You'll do that until you fall out. But me, no. No, no, and it's, no, I'm not gonna do it. But you have to learn how to take care of yourself. That's what you gotta do.